Hey, welcome back to my channel, Martin Day Trades. I am Martin Gonzalez. And today I kind of want to go over and do a weekly market recap for you guys and journal the back testing session essentially. But I'm not very content or happy with how I traded. I took a combine account and tried to see what I could do with it this past week, and I had 4 losing days out of 5 and 1 break-even day. Now, on the combine, I was taking a 50K account and trying to pass, but the first 2 days I was risking 500 to make 1,000, and I lost the first 2 days, which actually affected me more than I thought it would. When trading $500 on a 50K combined account, you have to essentially get that first win, or you have to down your risk going forward to 250. I didn't. I took another trade, $500 risk, and I lost. The last trade I took this week on Friday, I risked 250, but I moved my stop loss. That's a big no-no in the game of trading. I knew I wasn't going to pass the challenge at this point. I could have had risk to put on for Monday, maybe came back this next week, learn from my losses. And I preach, don't ever go full tilt, don't crash out, and essentially that's what I did. I still have my funded account. I didn't trade it this week. I wanted to pass a combine account. So what I won't, and I didn't. So I'm being transparent, full honesty right now with you guys. What I want to do is backtest and see where the entries were. What I was trading was last week and the week before and the week before's trading price action. It was moving within a range, up and down, not really going out of the range. This week we finally saw some bullish upside momentum, and I kept trying to sell when the play was to wait for buy setups. So going forward, I'm just gonna see where price can go. It's bullish right now, so this next week I'm only gonna look for buys. I'm going to go back to my funded account, and I will only be taking about 3 trades this week. If the setup presents itself, it presents itself. I'm going to be risking $100 for $200. 100 point risk for 200 point, looking for 200 points to take profit. So let's go to the charts and just backtest, see what happened this past week. Okay. Okay, so what we have here is, you can see that I did my Friday markup right here. You can see it says Friday right there. What I'm going to do is do the replay button and go back to Monday. Monday, 7 a.m. Okay. We're looking at the 4-hour chart. And what I'm going to do is actually go down to the 1 hour and bring these down. London high there. These aren't exactly on where price was at, but yeah, Asian session low. Okay, so now that we're at the 1 hour, we can see how Friday played out. The open of Monday gapped down and then had its push up right here. Would have probably been the best if you're swing trading to get in. But let's kind of just go forward. It is 7 o'clock right there. Okay, so we can see where that London low was made right there. We're gonna go down to the 30-minute chart and just kind of fix these up just slightly. Okay, So we go to the 1 hour and we can see we had been trading in a range the last couple of weeks for a while, just up and like sideways, essentially. Just look for the liquidity, London high, London lows, trade the opposite side and take profit, right? But what happened here was, 4 hour, we can see that price already had a reaction, and it's been bullish since April 4th. So there was this bullish momentum going up into this range, and then we started going sideways from here, having a hard time breaking out of this like 42,800, 43,000 level. But from this point, we had a reaction going down, came back up, coming down, and this is market structure. So we can see here on the 1 hour, you know, higher high, higher low, and then you know, higher low, lower low, higher low, lower low, and then right here, this one, um, it made another high, it came down, but then rejected this level. So right here, it didn't create a lower low, and instead rejected. So from here, we could have said like, okay, this is market structure. It didn't break this low, so we could look for buys. I didn't even see that, wasn't looking for that. So what we're gonna do is just go down to the 30-minute. We're at essentially 7:30 right here, and we're waiting for 9:30. Okay, it is 9 o'clock, 8:30 right there. We're gonna go down to the 15-minute. We're at 8:45, 9, 9:15. So at this point, we could say like, okay, where's there gaps in the market right here, right? There's a gap right here. And remember, we're bullish already, so it already came down from this. We could do a fib from here to here, that low to that high, and it came down to the 30%. So close to the market open, there's already showing bullish momentum. I was looking for sales at the London high, but I should have been waiting for these buys. Now, where could I get in for a buy? I'm thinking right here at this gap, come back into this gap a little lower, give us a entry, maybe right at four, 42,460, risk 100 points. That would have been a safe bet. Under this low, it would have gone taken out for a 1 to 2 right there. So what I want to do is then go down to the 5-minute and just see how this trade plays out with you guys. Okay, so we have, see the previous day lows, Asian session low, London low, Asian session high, London high. Actually, this London low looks like it could be the entry to go down to this 50%. I don't want to, if I'm going to get in on this expansion, it needs to be right at the 30% or this right here. I'm thinking probably at this London low. So 384, okay? Oh boy. Oh boy. Fuck. I wanted to get in right here. Missed it. Oh man, this would have been an ugly trade for me, guys. So yeah, I would have got taken out right there. And yeah. Oh, wait up. So yeah, no, London low. Yeah, I would have gotten taken out, but that was a good trade right here. If you would have got in at this London low, which would have been 482. Okay, I would have probably made that barely because that was at 483 and my stop loss would have been at 282, 100 points right at this London low. And I would have probably caught this trade. It's a hit or miss. Who knows? We're just back testing right now. But another thing is you could have waited for this retest off this London low to then go higher. So not a bad trade. Just it right here would have been the actual like good trade from that 15-minute 30-minute gap I was talking about a little earlier, right in this area. I was wanting a retest of it and it did come down, swept it, and then came higher. That would have been the trade right here. Boom, right there. So when there's momentum, it's best just to kind of wait for that gap to get filled to go higher. It looks like it, but it could come down lower, sweep these lows, and it did want to come to these Asian session low, previous day low. It looked like ran that previous day low right there. It did come down a little lower, a lot lower actually. Risking 50 points here could have been a really good 1 to 10 trade today. That would have been a really great trade to end the day. 30 minutes. This could have been an hour and a half trade right here to have a 1 to 10 trade. Okay, it didn't happen, so let's go forward. Okay, hour. All right, I went back a little too much. You can see the buys. Let's go back. How do we go back? Right there. Well, we saw the buys, but this is a tricky play because it's already extended. So, what we could have done is done previous day high, which would have been right there. Let's get rid of this. Monday was clean. I didn't get it. Asian session high. London low. Asian session low. Where's the Asian session low? Right there. London low. And previous day low right there. Now, this isn't pretty, guys. Like, this is kind of boring, but this is what's going to make us better because now we're seeing what price action actually did. So we're going to go to the 30 minutes. What time is it? 8:30, 15-minute. It is 9 o'clock. So this London low's right there. It had made the low, came, and it swept right under that. I think 128 would have been a good trade to get in. Well, kind of already seen it, but let's go forward another one. 915 had the push higher, came back. Is there any gaps? Okay. The only thing I see is like a big figure level, and it's between this range, which isn't very wide. What time is it? It is 9:25. So I'm going to go one more candle, but my hypothesis is, essentially I want to get in at this, 200 level if it starts to push higher. Actually, right here, I don't like getting in pre-market, but if it starts to push higher, could get in there, 100-point stop. 200 points. Okay. Would have got taken out. So it did sweep that London low. I was thinking about getting in at the London low, waiting for it to come back to that London low. Okay. Have to wait for these areas to get swept. The last one was the previous day low, Asian session low. London low here was swept. Okay, that's it. It was a 1 to 2 trade. It could probably been like a 1 to 3. Yeah, 1 to 3, but 1 to 2 is what we did. Okay. So I'm having a hard time, guys, like really seeing what could be done. I didn't see any like gaps or anything. It just swept this London low here. So let's see if I could do a fib and see, a continuation level from right here to this high. And it came down to that 50% London low. That's pretty much the money marker right there. The same thing last time. It was 50% and London low, or the Asian session low, previous day low last time. So let's go ahead and go to the next day. Okay. That's 8 o'clock. So at this point, I'm going to do the previous day low, which would have been at that Asian session low. Asian session low is right there. Previous day high is right here. Asian session high is right there. London high is right there. London low is right there. Everything has been like just sideways at this point. And what did I do? Okay. The previous day low was right there. Okay. So I don't really see any gaps except for this one right here at 300. Right off the bat, 1 hour gap, 300 level. So let's see if I were to do a fib, if that aligns with anything. Yeah, 50%. So right there, everything's been kind of doing the same thing. Could do a 100-point stop for 200. Okay. So at this point, I just want to just see what's going to happen. It is 8:30, 9. It's 9:15. We'll go to the 5-minute chart. Okay, we have these areas right here, and we're just going to see how price action just kind of plays out. It tapped that London low, Asian session low. It may not come down to this 50% range, guys, but if we would have gone in right there, I guess that could have been a good trade. But just based off what I've been, kind of seeing, there's that remember that 1 hour fair value gap? I'll mark it up with the box right here to right there. So when we go down to the 5-minute, it's easier to see. And let's see how this plays out. It is now 9:35 with that last bar. 9:40, 9:45, 9:50, 10 o'clock. Oh man, it missed the entry. It tapped the top of that box right here and came back. It missed the entry by 308, 322, 12, 13, 14 points. We might have not got this trade. Was that it? Was that it? Dude, we missed it by 1 point. Oh, there it is. Okay, so that's the patience, guys. Patience. Okay, so we got in right at this point right here, and it came back up. Imagine FOMOing in on this, saying, "Oh, I missed it," But this is the trade right here. We got in, had a buy limit order, and remember the last 2 days, it's been going into those fair value gaps, the 50% fib, and aligning with like a London a liquidity zone right here. They're up a little higher, but I feel like it needs to come back and go up higher. So let's just see how this trade plays out. Oh man, about to get wrecked. Wrecked. Okay, I would have lost this trade. It was a sell day on what, Wednesday? Damn. All right. This is I got wrecked this week, guys, but I see where price, what price is doing, it London and had this move. New York reversal just came down. And what's 930? It had that push down. So what I'm also realizing too is momentum, volume. Where did the volume push? It pushed down. So why can't we wait for, so see 930 pushed down? What we could do here is do a fib from this high to this low. And I did it from there to there. So let's say we did get in for a trade here, and we got in at the 50% or Asian session low, and we had a 50-point stop. We could essentially target the 79% fib retracement level, that's exactly where it targeted. This could have been an easy, like, even if we did a 1 to 3, could have been out the trade at this point right here. That would have been a solid trade setup. Look where the volume pushed. Where did the volume at 930 push? It pushed down. So what we're going to do is wait for a retracement and see where can we get in. And actually, if you go to the 15-minute chart, you can see that it created a fair value gap right there. So we could have even waited to get in on this fair value gap a little bit higher right there. So I'm going to start waiting for momentum to show us where price wants to go. There's that fair value gap. You guys can see that. There's this bar that had a push. We could have waited for this price to come down into this level. Where's the yeah, I think 490 would have 390, 43,390 would have been a good place to get in, but 43,392, it showed 50-point stop. If it's in a reverse, go back towards the 100 London high, this would have been a good trade to at least put some risk on. And, could have caught a, maybe a 3 to 5 at this point, or a 1 to 4 right there, just because you got in at that fair value gap that it created with that volume, that momentum going down, came back up, down, up. So, as soon as it created that fair value gap, could have waited for that price action, that candle to finish. Okay, it closed, but it didn't really close, but it created a fair value gap. Could have placed a settlement order a little higher and said, well, I'm not getting in until it fills this little gap here, and then I'm going to catch my 1 to 2, which would have been right there. Easy peasy trade right there. All right, so we're going to go to the next day. Right now I'm just analyzing, guys, and just showing you guys what really happened. So this was Wednesday. We're going to go to Thursday and then Friday. I'm kind of happy I'm doing this with you guys because I'm seeing that the volume is showing us the direction, of where price wants to go. If we miss it, we miss the trade, we see where it goes. Okay, so we're gonna go to the 1 hour. It is now 6 o'clock, 7, 8, right there. We could do the previous Asian session high. London ran it right there. Probably could have, it's not our time to day. It's not our time to trade. So we're just waiting at this point to see where price wants to go. Okay, so we have a spot here, and we're now at 43,400, close to 43,500, big figure level. Any gaps? I don't really see any gaps. I see this one down here at the Asian session low. I don't really see any gaps though. Maybe the gap was created right here. Let's go down to the 30-minute, 15-minute. No, that shows a lot of bullish momentum right here. Should have known better. Any gaps? Yeah, there's a gap right there. Okay, so here's a 5-minute fair value gap with that momentum that shows where price wants to go. We could technically wait for it to come back into this 400 level, 43,400. So let's go ahead and, what time is it? 8:55. It's almost close enough. This would be a good spot to kind of wait for price to come down. Ooh, 50-point stop. That's not bad, but let's do 100. Give it some room. Okay. So what we're going to do is kind of scrunch this up a little bit. It's a 5-minute chart. It's 8:55, 9. Ooh. Okay. Not our time of day to trade. It is 8:20, 9:25, my bad, 9. And what we could do here is essentially just where I'm hoping it comes back down at this point, like, oh, come on, just come back and give me another entry. 9:30. Sometimes taking pre-market trades is the thing to do. Now, this is Thursday. Since we missed this trade, we have to kind of wait. Okay, so this is the thing, the hard part is volume is showing you the direction. This is important, guys. You can't be trying to sell this. You cannot sell this. Volume is showing where price wants to go. You can see it in the candle how it pushed. The only thing that we can do is now wait for a retest. This is important. If you're listening to this, this is important. You cannot sell this. I've done this. I continue to do this, but this is the hard part. Is knowing it's pushing. Okay, what we're gonna do is at this point, and this would have been that fair value gap trade. That was money right here. 50-point stop. Oof. What would a 50-point stop have been? One to three. Let's see. Target 1 to 3. Okay. Even a 1 to 4, 200 points, But let's see what this trade. Now, the only thing, get back to what I was saying, is you cannot sell this. What you can do is see, hey, visualize, see what's going on. I see momentum's pushing up higher. I'm going to be patient enough to see if price wants to come back and give me an entry. What can I do to
visualize that, I can use a Fibonacci. From this point to this point, we're just going to trail this as high as it goes is where, we're going to do this. Actually, I think I should do it right here. No, because it had that retest right there. So it's going to be like essentially like right there. Okay. So we're just going to follow this. So we're going to do one click at a time and just follow this. And this is actually a 1 to 2 already. Someone could have already been out. That's the trade for the day right there. So we're going to just keep clicking this and trailing this. Okay. Remember, you cannot sell it. Say, oh, this is the top. This is the top. No, 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 no. It's not the top. When it's momentum like this, volume, wait for a pullback to get in for the longs. Okay, okay. 30%. Someone could have gotten in at this 30%, 100-point stop. I'm saying it has to tap one of these purple lines, and I'm going to say it's going to tap this previous day high because it aligns with the 50% fib level. Okay? This fair value gap has already been respected and is gone now. And there's a fair value gap all in this right here. So what I'm going to do is do 100 points, 200 points. This will be my trade right here for Thursday. Remember, I tried to sell this and I lost up here, and it should have been break even. I should have just been break even, and I ended up getting in for a trade and having a $120 loss. So this is what I'm trying to preach to you guys. Do not sell. If it shows bullish momentum, if it's been bullish, if it has the breakout out of a range, it's bullish. The bulls are in charge. So what we're going to do is wait for a trade to get in to go higher. Okay, got tapped in, previous day high. I hope it doesn't go any lower, but it could come all the way down to the 79% fib level, take that London high, Asian session high, fill this gap all the way to go higher. Okay, I'm a little nervous. Okay, it's okay. Okay. So it did tap that 79% fib level right here, but I was telling you guys about. But look, we're well within this range right here. So if it starts to push higher and close above this right here, we're good. Okay, not too bad. Okay, there we go. So now we're back to being safe. So we got in right here at this previous day high, 100 points, 100 point, we got in at 472, so at 572, we're moving stops to break even, which would be right above this high. As soon as price gets it back above this high, we're break even. We'd be moving stops to break even. Okay, at this point, we're moving the stops to break even, and it's a risk-free trade. And this is what I'm telling you guys about, right? So you see how price had this push, right? It had this push. Do not sell this. It's telling you where price wants to go. Wait for the pullback for people who are taking TP1, TP2, TP3 up here to get in to then go higher. We're waiting for this target to get hit. Let's see if it does. And it doesn't. Okay. Oh, was that it? I think it was right there. 672. Now, the day's about to close, so I think that would have been a good trade. Oh, okay. And if it didn't hit there, it would have hit right there. Okay, perfect. So this was a great trade. We could have even traded a 1 to, a 50-point stop, which we would have got it, but the safest entry would have been having to wait for this London low to have gotten tapped to then go higher for a 1 to 4. 50-point stop. But if we were risking, 100 points, we would have been out a while back. So that's a great trade, guys. I just wanted to let you guys know that, like, that's a 1 to 5. Wow. Okay. So this is Thursday's price action. Okay. Let's go to Friday. And we are 35 minutes into this. Thank you guys for staying with me. I appreciate it. I just want you guys to make sure you guys understand how this price moves. Wow, that's crazy. Wow. Okay, it is 6 o'clock. We're doing 30 minutes. 7 o'clock. 7:30, 8. Okay, we're gonna go down to 15-minute chart, and we're gonna move our liquidity lines. Previous day high right there. London high right there. Asian session high right there. I could already see where the highs are, where price would want to come down and then go higher. Asian session low right with that previous day high, and the previous day low was with these Asian session lows. Okay. It is 8:15, 8:30, 8:45, 9. Okay. It's 9 o'clock. It's actually, yeah, 9 o'clock, and I want to see if there's any gaps. So we're going to go to the 1 hour. You can see price already pushed out. Oh, wait up. 30-minute. Okay, we're not going to go to the hour. Is there any gaps? Price wants to. Okay, so this is like the previous day, how there was this gap right here. Price has already been bullish. It came down. There's this gap right here. And it's out close to this London low. So my trade idea would be, okay, well, if it's already, I see a gap that's right by that London low, might want to get in that London low to push higher. 50-point stop seems reasonable here. We could wait for that gap at 800, 43,800, or we could, London low. I think London low is a safe bet. I'm kind of tempted to go to do a 100-point stop. Okay, this is my trade idea. I'm looking for a 1 to 2, 100 points, and there's this fair value gap right by that London low. I'm entering at 807, or have a buy limit order 807. We're going to go to the 5-minute chart, and it already is in that gap, so I'm going to erase it. And we're going to just see how price action plays out at this point. It's 9:15, 9:20, 9:25. Okay, if we see some momentum pushing down, but it's also in that fair value gap, so it could just take off from here. What's the price level? 833. It's so close to the big figure level. No, let's stick to the 808 right there. Okay. Okay. So you can see here, right when the market opened at 9:30, it came up, and it's respecting that actual, like, that 15-minute or that 30-minute fair value gap. So it's not going to come down. I don't think it'll come down to this. It already had that push. So what we're going to do is draw that fair value gap from right here to right there. And because it came back into this area, came up, came down, we could take this trade right there. And, that'll be our Friday trade. Let's see what happens from here. It's either we're going to get wrecked because it comes and sweeps this low. We should have kept it at London low. But we're just going to take this trade here and show that, hey, momentum's been bullish. We're going to finish off the week bullish. Okay. Okay. I think we got in at 843. As soon as it gets to 943, we are break even. Okay, 952. I'd be moving stops to break even at that point. Wish I would have had a 50-point stop right there. That would have been, oof, already TP2, but I already said right there. Oh, yeah, there it is right there. Boom. Okay, so this trade would have smacked TP within, we got in for that retest. It came back down, gave us the entry and that fair value gap. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. About 30 to 35 minute, 30 to 40-minute trade right here would have been a 1 to 2. And that's it, guys. That was the trade for the week. Now remember, if you missed this trade, do not sell it. Do not sell it. Okay? What we're going to do is exit, and what we're going to do here is do a Fibonacci. If you miss this trade, where could price come back to then give us a re-entry? Remember, last time it came back and tapped the 79%, but there's the Asian session high, London high. We could get in, if you miss that trade, hey, I'll get in at this, this level right here, 50-point stop, take it to the high again. That's a 1 to 3. So let's see if this actually this plays out. Because remember, you're not supposed to sell something that momentum's already pushed. You're waiting for a retest to then go higher. And it could just keep going higher. It could just keep going higher. And it's going higher. Okay, that's fine. Friday was bullish. Friday was bullish. Crazy bulls. Crazy bulls. Oh, wait up. It came back down? London high right there. Oh my gosh, it actually came back, but is this actually going to play out though? That's the question. Before the day ends. And it does. What the freak? Oh my gosh, guys. 1 to 5. Oh my goodness gracious. 1 to 7 right there. So that's what I mean, guys. Like if you miss this trade, you could have taken it all the way up here. If you got in at the 79% fib level, you would have not been able to make a 50-point stop. You would have had to wait for that London high to get ran. But you know, yeah, this is a great trade. This is what I mean, guys. Like wait for it. You could have even had a 100-point stop. And this is the 1 to 3.6. We could have waited, 1 to 2 even off this right here would have been right there. Wow. Okay. So I'm ready for next week. And once I see price going up higher, I'm going to just use a fib, wait for it to come up, see where it could come back to the 79% fib levels. If there's what's aligning there, oh, London high, I'm going to keep a buy limit at that London high. Probably won't use 100 points. I'll probably use 50 points to then just go higher. Cool. Okay. Well, thank you guys for doing this backtesting session of last week with me. It was very informative. I appreciate it. If you guys liked what you heard, please like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for staying with me essentially 45 minutes. Let's stay patient this week. If price breaks out, do not try to sell it. Do not FOMO into it. Wait for a retest to one of these liquidity zones that aligns with the fib retracement level. We are now pushing out of a range. So until further notice, bullish moves are the play. Thank you, and I hope to see you guys again. Watch one of my videos. Stay safe and have a great week.